Welcome to episode 6 of the Jungle Podcast. It's Monday, May 4th. I'm John. You guys know Jeff as well. And excited to bring you guys another episode. If you're a new listener to us, the name is the Jungle Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at the Jungle Pod. You can find us really on all listening platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And it's the Jungle Podcast. So,
yeah, buddy.
To our, a whole new week of the show for us.
Yeah, man. It's obviously good to be back. May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Did you know it's Star Wars Day?
I heard that a lot.
That's funny, man. But it's always good to start the week off with this. So excited to get into it.
Absolutely, and you beat me to the punch. One of my news and actually, we're not there yet. I got my notes mixed up. You have any interesting news and notes of the weekend?
News and notes. So I think I have a couple things, and one of them, the biggest news of the weekend, and I don't know if you've seen it yet. I think it just came out today, but Hafthor Bjornsson, if that's how you pronounce his last name, is going to fight in a boxing match Eddie Hall. Now, Eddie Hall won the World's Strongest Man in 2017.
Right.
Who also played the Mountain on Game of Thrones, who
right.
also just broke the world record for the deadlift over the weekend.
I saw that.
They are going to fight in a boxing match September 2021 in Vegas.
He's going to kill Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall's like
he's
5'11" or 6 foot, isn't he?
No, Eddie Hall is a monster.
Bjorn is like 6'8". Doesn't he have like 8 inches on him?
I don't know about 8 inches. I'm sure he's some, but Eddie Hall is huge. Dude, here's the thing.
They're big. He's a big dude, but Bjorn is 6'8".
Yeah, but do we know? It's going to go one of two ways. Well, no matter what, it's going to be super entertaining just to see those monsters in the cage, right? It's going to be super entertaining. But
100%.
And Thor put out on his Instagram saying he's going to dedicate the next year and a half to this fight. So obviously that implies do some training, because we have no idea if they have any background whatsoever in martial arts.
Probably not.
In boxing. So it could just be two huge guys slugging. But you're right. If one of them connects, it's gonna be awesome. I don't care. I'm gonna tune in.
So when is that fight?
September 2021 in Vegas.
Wow. Okay. So it's a legit fight. If you give someone over a year.
Yeah,
that's that also tells me they don't know what they're doing.
No, exactly. And what's funny
is
what
they're doing, they wouldn't wait that long to make money.
Right. Yeah, because it's also entertainment right now. Do it in but it's going to make so much money. I think that it happened after Thor beat Eddie Hall's deadlifting record over the weekend. Then they decided to do it. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, you want to make some money too?
Why not? Let's go punch each other a few times, and who knows if they, talk about it in between. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think they're pretty good friends.
That's a good news note. I had no idea about that. I hadn't heard that. I know Bjorn because he's the Mountain, right? For Game of Thrones. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know who that is. He's just a huge Icelandic powerlifter who does like all the strongest man stuff.
Yep.
Eddie Hall I know a lot too, because he's really big about like promoting the sport. He does a lot of stuff on YouTube and different networks to try to get notoriety. But one of the things he always talks about is they don't make any money. Like, this is still something he's kind of pioneering. So, man, that could be a great kudos of the week to those two guys.
Go make some money, fellas.
Yeah, seriously. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good one there.
Thanks.
I had two. One was today Don Shula passed away.
Unfortunately.
His son, Dave Shula, I wasn't aware. He was a Bengals head coach in the 90s.
How did we not know that? Yeah.
It was like 94, 95, 96, probably because we were worrying about, the kindergarten class.
That's true. But I know, we know different coaches around that time, or different sports, but I guess not he wasn't necessarily a really super successful one, I guess, obviously.
The Jeff Blake years, or maybe was that before Jeff 96? I don't know. Either way, interesting connection to that, I thought.
That is.
Other one that I saw, and this is a strict rumor, so rumor alert, could be complete nonsense. I've seen rumblings though from current and ex Major League Baseball players that spring training 2 And this is like right now it's 6:18 Central Time. This is like an hour ago. I started seeing all these little things pop up. Spring Training 2.0 is going to start on June 10th. Again, just a rumor. Don't know if it's true, but saw it, and that's a huge piece of news if that is indeed true.
Hey, that'd be huge, though. I mean, that would be massive. Yeah.
Baseball's back. If they go for it, that's full go. Like, what are you going to do? Stop after you already started again? Probably not.
Yeah.
I think if they go, they're going to go through with it.
Well, I mean, did you see that the Korean Baseball League, KBO, they're playing?
I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Cool.
I just want something to watch live sports on TV.
Once they get the testing, I think we'll see it. So
I think you're right.
I think they have it, so it's just a matter of time.
You're right. Well, all right. So okay. Any other news or anything you can think of?
Those are the two big ones. The kudos of the week, which I know we were going to do next. I actually had Steven Spielberg, because the fact that, like, on the work call that I had today, it started with Star Wars music at 8 a.m. on a Monday, and that it's gotten to that level. And I've had multiple people say, "May the 4th be with you." I love how dorky it is. I had to give it to Steven Spielberg just for getting that movie this far.
Yeah, I like that.
What did you think of are you a Star Wars guy? I don't think we really talked about this.
I grew up watching the original ones, in the 70s, but obviously not. I wasn't in the 70s, but I remember growing up watching those. My parents had the VHS set or whatever.
Right.
And I remember watching
the trilogy, the three VHS box.
The original ones. I thought those were awesome as kids. And I had action figures and stuff. And I remember Harrison Ford was on an interview on the Today Show or something, present day, and I had only seen him as Han Solo back when he was playing him in the 70s, early 80s. Right?
Hans, what happened to your face?
Yeah. So I guess I asked my mom or something what happened? What happened to him? Because I don't know. I was a dumb kid. I didn't realize. Well,
he had a serious 20-year fall from grace in physical appearance.
He's had a rough couple years since the Star Wars days. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen a couple of the new ones. It's just to go see him, I guess. It's not that I'm not. I'd say I am a fan, but I'm not going to line up the night before to buy tickets or something.
Yeah, I loved those movies back in the day. I kind of got over them after episode 1. I don't know. It's also part of just what age you are. Once I got over 16, I didn't really care. I don't even watch these ones anymore. But as a kid, I loved those. So big kudos to Steven Spielberg. What'd you have?
Well, that's good. And actually, I guess I kind of ruined mine, but I kind of have two. One kudos is to Thor for breaking the world deadlift record. Right?
Yeah.
It was 501 kilograms. It's over
awesome
1,100
to see
pounds.
that too, because that's a universally respected lift. I know you know a lot more about lifting than I do, but just in my stupid mind terms, there's two types of lifting. There's Olympic powerlifting, right, which is these tried and true lifts that
Well, Olympic lifting and powerlifting are two different things.
This is how little I know on the subject.
Yeah.
Point I'm trying to prove is it's good to see a guy like him who does the strongman stuff do something a little bit more mainstream. That's where I was.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's cool about it is ESPN played it on ESPN, right? So it was something to watch on Saturday.
Yeah.
But they did something.
ESPN the Ocho.
No, it was on regular ESPN, and I think they actually replayed it today on ESPN too. But what was cool, so on the morning shows, they were replaying it today. That means that he could lift off the ground. The deadlift is the ultimate lift, like you said. You're just picking up weight off the ground.
Yeah.
So and he could lift the entire starting 5 for the Houston Rockets off the ground.
Wow.
That's how much weight that is.
Big dude.
That's a big dude, man. Yeah. And then just a shout out, and you did mention it. Obviously, RIP to Shula, but kudos to Don Shula's career. Most wins ever as a coach. Coached the only undefeated team. In the history of the NFL. So unbelievable career. Sad news out of Shula's family, obviously today, but we wish them the best.
Yeah, and he was long done before we came along. But I always respected him just for how petty he was, popping champagne every time another team screwed up. Yeah, I like that, and it kind of shows you he's like Michael. he's just like that just shows like you're ruthlessly competitive.
Yes, that whole team was, and everyone like would give him crap because they'd be like, "Well, it was only 17 games." That's not their fault. They still got it done. You know, they still won.
They won what was in front of them. That's
exactly. They won all 17 games.
Yeah.
Undefeated Super Bowl champ. So, and I've heard good things about his restaurants. So, hey, yeah.
I don't know anything about his restaurants, but
the Sheila Steakhouses. Yeah,
we'll have to. Maybe we'll do an episode there. We'll do an episode.
Maybe they'll have us in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I guess kind of transitioning over to the Michael Jordan doc.
Yeah.
Episodes, I guess 5 and 6.
5 and 6
were last night. I mean, this is one where like every episode, you're just at least me, like I'm completely kind of consumed by. The big name, ironically, about that kind of came from this one. Really, the most memorable moment wasn't Michael Jordan for me. It was John Michael Wozniak, the security guard who he's in the scene playing quarters with.
Mm-hmm.
That guy stole the internet. Like he won the internet last night. He's already like an instant classic GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, with his little shrug.
Yeah.
After he beats him, like mocking his little shrug. He was amazing. And so I did a little bit of research on him. So he actually just passed away in January of this year, which is a shame that he didn't actually get to see this.
Oh, geez.
But apparently, like, he was like one of the closest guys to Michael Jordan in the organization. Not only was his security at home games, but like watched over his residence after he left the Bulls. Would travel with his like family, like personally overseeing security. The guy was like a Chicago Police Department narcotics guy in the organized crime unit for CPD. So obviously like a badass.
Yeah.
And, after that, parlayed that into this career with the Bulls. And I don't know. I just thought that was really, really cool to kind of see some of those like human interaction moments. Outside of that, like the reason the guy won the internet last night is that those like the amazing Jerry curls he had going, or the perm, whatever you want to call it. I just thought he was fantastic. So that was one of the big things that I love.
I love that. I love that scene. I'm glad you did some research into that. That's it's funny because at first when you see him in that scene, like he's a very unassuming guy, right? Like just
just
like skinny little. You don't know what he is, but then one time you turn and you see his coat pocket, he's got the big old revolver sitting on his waist. Did you see that? Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, this guy's a legit security guard, and if he's with Michael, I mean, he's obviously got a legit team. That was a good one. What I really like how they're doing it. So sometimes I don't like documentaries to do this, but they go back and forth very well and tell the stories very well. Like they'll jump to what it is, the Last Dance, the last season in '98, but then they'll hit that timeline. It'll go back then, and each episode so far has kind of been an important time, obviously in Jordan's career. Where like last night they went through when they beat the Suns, they beat the Pistons, they beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right. They beat the Pistons they beat the Pistons in the championship game. I'm sorry, but yeah, they beat the Lakers and the Suns, and then I don't know why I'm blanking on the other West team that they beat. The Jazz. Yeah. So, for those first three, I like how they're doing that. But what I also loved about last night's episode was the Kobe part.
That was one of my bullet points too. Kobe frown face, like that was just heartbreaking.
That was heartbreaking.
He must have done this right before he died, or at least not too long before it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean pretty soon. I remember seeing previews for this documentary or earlier this year, I guess, and I was so excited about it. So yeah, you're right, but it's also like I love how he said, "I wouldn't be Kobe Bryant without Michael Jordan."
Oh yeah, love that.
Yeah.
He when they say, "Oh, I hate when people like say, what if it was one-on-one?" He basically says, like, I got my things from him. He's paying tribute. He's saying it would be Michael.
It would be Michael. Yeah, exactly.
He's hinting at that, which it's the most un-Kobe thing you could see Kobe do. But that just shows you like he legitimately like learned the game from him, partial, to an extent.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I also
he didn't come off like a jerk, which is kind of rare for him. It really was, Like
Yeah.
he came off real genuine. I thought
Yeah.
that was endearing.
And I love Kobe. I think Kobe's like when it comes to like mindset of when you watch him play and like just like that killer, he's the closest to Jordan.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that part. Now, and also too, I had to fact check myself because I can't believe it slipped my mind. It was the Clyde Drexler Portland Trailblazers they beat that they talked about too.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so was I confusing maybe later?
Because the Jazz is later in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, but then they talked about the Jazz.
There were some highlights in there.
For
whatever.
Sure. I had to go back.
That.
I had to because
we take our statistics with the utmost.
Well, because there was also I had in my notes there was also that moment where he talked about how people would compare him with Clyde and Jordan got mad about it.
Dude,
I love
what Clyde felt like watching that. He's like he was a problem for me. But it was insulting that he even mentioned the same sentence. Like, he had a good career for him, but I'm talking about greats right now. You know what I mean? Like,
now,
no.
what's interesting is Clyde he was on the Dream Team, but then they left out Isaiah, which, I mean, there's been speculation about that all since, since that episode and kind of that first couple episodes when they talked about them against the Bad Boy Pistons, how much Michael doesn't like Isaiah. But then he paid homage to him a little bit saying, look, there's two best point guards, Magic and Isaiah, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He also said, it was kind of not just me, it was everybody. No one liked it. So, no, I thought the Dream Team stuff was cool. I never really thought about it. It's because, again, we were young. I was 2.5, 3 years old when this, when that stuff was happening in '92, or I guess it was 3, but I didn't really realize, like, apparently that's when the torch was passed, like, in the eyes of at least the NBA elite.
From Magic and Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he kind of assumed that role. I thought it was really cool when they said they got back on the bus, and it was just quiet for a minute, and somehow the silence broke, and they all kind of, started breaking into talking about the practice, how ridiculous
that was
it was. And I don't know, really cool stuff to see. Can't wait for next Sunday. This episode, like this whole series, just doesn't disappoint. So
you're right.
I'm
gonna be sad when it's over. Like I wish that it was a 20-part series. But what's nice is I was talking to somebody about it today. Apparently the Kobe one's gonna be coming out shortly after this.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Okay, good. So they already did it. Good.
Yeah. So
I was kind of wondering that. That's the other thing I was thinking. I don't know. The Kobe stuff was heartbreaking. I wasn't even like. I didn't hate Kobe. I didn't really love him though. But that's where you kind of like let it sink. You're like, man, like you really lost something. So that'll be really cool to see too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Kobe. It's weird. I'm kind of the same way. It's weird that I remember even how young I was. I still remember watching Jordan more than I do remember watching Kobe. And then now, I watch LeBron now more, obviously. But then you go back and you watch some of those Kobe games. I mean, you can see why he is Kobe Bryant because of Michael Jordan. And I mean, he's just a killer.
Yeah, I mean, I remember them as like separate times, but it's really cool seeing pictures of them on the same court and like interacting.
Yeah,
it almost to me, like in today's day and age where you can like manipulate video and stuff, it almost looks like fake. So I'm like, wait, like they aren't supposed to be there at the same time,
Yeah.
It
doesn't Photoshop.
That's really cool stuff.
Yeah, well, good. Well, yeah, man, excited about the next 2 episodes, and we're going to be sad when it ends, but it's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, so going from one all-time great documentary to, I guess, a different tier of athlete, we have Andy Dalton news. Andy Dalton signed a 1-year, $7 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys. I thought the team choice was really interesting. Obviously, he's from Texas. But he's ball at TCU. I guess, what did you think about the signing?
I'm happy for him. I think the Dallas Cowboys got the best backup quarterback in football now.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I really do.
I might say Jameis Winston's better.
I know, and he'd probably be up there for me too. But then it's just like I don't know. I mean, Stephen A. always calls Jameis Winston the defensive player of the year from last year. So
that's funny.
It's great, but I'm happy for Andy. Go get paid some good money. There's got to be some sense of relief to him to know, look, he's not going to be the guy there, but if they do need him. Who knows what's going to happen with this Dak Prescott situation? He's back home. He doesn't have to move. He already has a house in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think it's great for him.
That's the difference between who we just talked about and who we're talking about now.
Yes.
You said you gotta imagine it's somewhat of a relief to him to not be the guy.
Well, think about how much he's got.
Michael Jordan was ruining people's lives on television because they said something to a reporter.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton must be relieved. You're probably right. Like, it's probably a real nice, warm, fuzzy, secure feeling for him being back home. No pressure, Andy, just chill on the bench.
Right.
I think it's actually going to be a little bit more tumultuous than you might think. Why are they signing him? That's a lot of, like, they just paid – they're doing a $30 million franchise tag with Dak because they haven't – for whatever reason, they paid Amari, they paid Zeke, and they haven't paid the most important position. That's been, talked about over and over. But
I mean, it doesn't make sense, especially because
that tells me, like, what are they doing? They're planning for Dak not playing or something. Why else would you bring in Andy Dalton on a 1 year? Like, it seems like insurance to me.
I think it might be a little bit because
that's what I'm saying.
Because they had a good draft too. They brought in arguably the best receiver in the draft also.
Something's going on. Going on that they haven't announced. Like, why would you bring in Andy Dalton for a year? It's almost like, I don't know. It shows me that that's not quite as easy, or something's got to be, going on there. At least that's the sneaking suspicion that I'm feeling.
I agree. Yeah, it is. But like all in all, I'm happy for Andy Dalton. And look, is he obviously a competitor? Yes, he played starting quarterback in the NFL for 9 years, but he got shit on so much by Cincinnati fans. All the time, season in and season out. Even though he still put up some pretty good numbers. So I'm just happy for him to hopefully be in a better situation. He's got one heck of an offensive line now if he goes and gets in.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that Cincinnati Bengals fans like to shit on him, because I actually have some interesting facts.
Okay.
So we were talking about his primetime record. I looked it up. We did sell him short. We did sell him short. He played a surprising amount of primetime football games. I think Thursday night counts now, which makes sense.
It does.
He played 26 primetime games in his career.
Okay.
All-time, it definitely doesn't include it because it has this one. All-time record, 6-19-1. I think we tied the Browns 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Thursday night. I'm pretty sure that's the one. I haven't looked it up, but I remember one like that. 6-19-1. 26 games he played in primetime. Three times he had over 300 yards in 26 games. With AJ Green. Like,
yeah, but not all of those.
Mind-boggling. Another key, or I guess like something of note. He got a standing ovation in Buffalo.
Yes.
For ending their 17-year playoff drought, because he beat the Ravens in like a meaningless game where I'm pretty sure like we didn't make the playoffs. We played them to finish the season. I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago.
Dude, yeah, the Bengals didn't make the playoffs. Knocked the Ravens out so the Bills could go in.
He waves at the fans like, you're welcome.
I'm pretty sure he
raised $40,000 for his charity, which is legit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's all. Look, hey, a shout out to the Bills Mafia.
Way to keep positive, Jeff. Way to keep positive. That's why I love you. I'll bring the 3 times in 26, and you'll bring the
Look, you're right.
Best, kid.
That is not a good record. I remember watching him give like that pregame speech, and he said like, "Let's go have fun" or something like that to a
most important thing. Let's all have fun out there.
Yeah. Come on, you can't do that to a bunch of professional football players. You can't do that in high school. So I'm not a big fan of all that. I think he put up some better numbers, but hey, man, I'm glad you looked that up because clearly he was not a primetime quarterback.
Well, to his credit, he did better than I said, less than 2. So I was wrong. True. Andy Dalton exceeded my expectations.
I guess that's true. That's true. Yeah.
It's a win.
Yeah.
Other notable free agents. There were a couple. Then you sent me a list, which is like, hey,
Yeah.
here's the big ones right now. The big one was Cam Newton. Any notes on your end for Cam?
Here's the thing. I just don't know. I don't know where he's going to go now. When you look at the cap space for some teams, it's who knows. And where is a good fit for a guy like Cam? So talented, obviously has been such a great winner. But no, I honestly, I was sometimes I think Patriots, sometimes I thought Chargers, but then they drafted Herbert. You know, one thing that's really interesting, and actually Louis Riddick said this on ESPN. Think about him in McVay's offense.
Yeah,
that would be a really interesting play.
But
they just paid Goff. You know,
yeah,
but you got to think, okay. So you know what? Why doesn't Jackson? I mean, why doesn't Jacksonville sign?
You said the two. So the two big chatter teams right now, at least are like on the rumor boards, are Jacksonville and New England.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's happening to him is the same with a lot of these bigger names. So the top four right now: Cam Newton, Jadeveon Clowney, Darqueze Dennard, and the Griffin kid out of Minnesota. So
yeah, Everson Griffin.
Yeah, Everson Griffin. All these guys really, like, if you're going to pay, like, these are guys who are going to make millions of dollars if you pay them. They can't do physicals with all the teams.
So that puts a big hurdle.
That's what it is. I read something that said the best chance for Cam would probably be waiting for whenever the season starts, whenever that is, just waiting for a starter to get hurt. Because, I mean, his options are pretty slim.
Yeah.
The fact that who knows what we'll find out. I'm sure eventually what happened to Carolina. The fact that Teddy Bridgewater's their guy. Like, I was looking at Teddy. Like, I was a huge Teddy Bridgewater fan coming out of Louisville, and his lifetime stats really don't like impress you. The fact that he's the guy starting over Cam.
Yeah, I mean, which is surprising, but they brought in a brand new staff. Hey, well, I mean, maybe the Redskins have some interest in him with Rivera there now. And then go in there. They have Haskins, obviously. So, and I know you're huge on Haskins, which I am too. I think he's super talented. But
I think he has potential. I don't think it's time to write him off. I think he has a lot of potential. But yeah, Cam's an interesting one. Clowney, the big ones for him. The one that kind of jumped out to me was the Browns. One of the big ones.
Who that would be?
The Browns, the Seahawks, and the Titans. Apparently, that's all pending physicals. So same thing.
The Titans would be interesting too. There, I mean, that'd be a big addition for them.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel. Who wouldn't want to play for Mike Vrabel? Like,
yeah, he's only 27 too. He's only 27 years old.
I thought you were saying Mike Vrabel. Yeah, Jadeveon. He's still young, man. Like he's in his prime. He is right now. This is his prime.
Yeah, because you look at a lot of these guys. A lot of the guys on the list. I mean, you're over 30 years old on a lot of them.
Yeah, Darqueze. He never really like. I was kind of surprised to see him even mentioned with these types of names.
He didn't really impress me in Cincinnati, obviously, but
didn't like. Okay.
Yeah, there's another Cincinnati guy on the later down the list, Drake Kirkpatrick, who was signed, and then whatever that happened fell through.
Yeah, he must have been far down because I didn't even notice him on the list.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Flacco's there. Eli Apple's out there. Devontae Freeman is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some big time talent. You mentioned Everson Griffin. I mean, dude, he is an animal at defensive end. He's 32 years old, so it's going to be tough to, what's his longevity. But some teams sign him for a 2-year deal. Like Logan Peters is on here also. Jason Peterson's on here also. But he's a 38-year offensive tackle. Now he's had an amazing career, and a lot of those tackles have played a long time. But Cincy, pick up a veteran, sign him to a 2-year deal. And, and then there's probably going to be some beasts at offensive tackle to draft next year.
Yeah, he's crazy at age 38. Offensive tackle, it's a little bit, you can play older. I guess you can with this other one. Cameron Wake, I know he's 38, but we're just naming older guys. Man,
I like Cameron Wake.
When you told me he was still playing, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he's my memories from 15 years ago. Like, not 5 years ago. I remember watching him when I was in high school.
Yeah, he had some really great years, man.
Yeah. I couldn't believe he was still out there playing. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Any other free agent news you had? I guess
no.
not. I mean, you're asking the same question.
yeah, it was. Great minds think alike, buddy. But I mean, that's
Right.
no, that's really it. The biggest, obviously, news when we talked about was Dalton find a place, and also in Cam Newton still being unsigned. So it'll be
We're
interesting to see
happy,
what
Andy. We're
happens.
happy for you, buddy.
Yeah, we are. We are.
So this week's list segment a little different. So we were just kind of generally talking about, what are some of the best players at different positions. Then we figured, why don't we just go ahead and list our top 3 players really across the board. We're going to include coaches on this too. So this is for NFL, top 3 by position. Head coaches included, regardless of league. Some positions you'll see really just the D-line, it gets a little sticky, and the O-line, it gets a little sticky. It's like, how much do you guys want to hear about the third best guard? So to make it interesting, we kept that kind of chopped up into, certain, basically O-line's one category. Sorry, O-lineman out there. Defensive end and edge is kind of mixed with outside linebacker. That was, we'll get into that. The fact that we did that, I think when I was doing it, I was like, this was a mistake because there's so many good players.
Ton of
and
talent.
It's really hard to choose one that you don't want to include.
Yeah.
So I'll start this off with you, Jeff. You just want to go down the list from offense through. We'll do a recap.
So you want me to go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, O-line, all of them?
One at a time, I was thinking, so that we could all follow along.
Yeah.
Start wherever you see fit, and I'll follow your lead. How about that?
Well, let's go quarterback then. The top 3, and it's tough because I wrote down 5, but I am going to go Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson.
Wow, Jackson 2. Okay, I had
MVP.
One of those guys in order. I had Brady, Mahomes, Breeze. I wrote Aaron Rodgers at 3. I wrote Aaron Rodgers. I hate him so much. I took him off and I wrote Breeze.
Wait a minute. Okay, I don't understand how. So you have the 3 that I just mentioned. The 2 won the MVP. 3 was in the conversation to win the MVP.
Yeah.
1 won the Super Bowl.
We're talking about right now.
Yes.
If you take Jackson from the Ravens, you put him on Tampa Bay, you think he's going to have a better season than Tom Brady?
We don't know. Tom Brady hasn't played there yet.
No one knows. What do you think?
I don't know. It's a different offense. They don't have the running power that the Ravens have.
I don't think he does. I think those are true.
You could be right. You could be right, but he plays for the Ravens.
You're right. Nothing you said is wrong.
Imagine
except for your ranking.
Okay. All right. We're running. Go to running back. Go to running back.
Okay. So at running back, I had number 1 Zeke, 2nd Saquon, and 3rd Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, yeah, we're pretty similar here. I was
curious where you had Christian McCaffrey first.
No, but he's my 2.
Okay.
I had Barkley.
Sorry, I'm not letting you talk.
And then Christian McCaffrey, and then I had Zeke 3. The only reason why, when I've looked at it, those 3 to me, you could really change up. I thought about putting Dalvin Cook in there. Nick Chubb's really great coming up. There's a lot of really good running back talent. And Barkley, just to me, he hasn't had the supporting cast that Zeke has in a lot of areas. And he's put up some crazy, crazy numbers. Didn't have a blowout season last year, but he's still really good. And obviously Christian McCaffrey, I mean, he's a stats freak. So, and he's got that big deal. So those 3
NFL stand for?
Not for long.
It's nice being a 23-year-old running back. You see the difference between Saquon. Saquon reminds me so much of Zeke. They're the same guy.
I can see that.
A few years earlier. I have Zeke ahead of him because I still think he's between the tackle. Zeke just falls forward. Not that Saquon I have second on the list.
Right.
But you do see a difference. Maybe that actually, maybe I should switch my list, but you got to stick by what you put.
No, it's good.
Saquon's legs are just fresh, man. And neither one of those guys, they have no hole in their game. McCaffrey, I worry about his size a little bit in the box. But, man, yeah, good picks there. So same 3 guys, different order. Who do you have at wide receiver?
When it goes to wide receiver, too, right now, I think we're gonna have a little bit of different ones, but Mike Thomas 1. I have Hopkins 2, and then I put Julio 3.
Awesome. I had Hopkins 1, Thomas 2, Julio 3. The reason I had Hopkins 1 instead of Thomas is I thought Hopkins done it with everyone he's played with.
Yes.
Mike Thomas has the luxury of playing with Drew Brees, and you can't dock him for that. And I didn't. I think it was fair putting him ahead of Julio just because the seasons he's had. But the fact that Hopkins is just literally, who cares who's throwing him the ball? He's going for 1,000.
He's caught a touchdown from like 14 different quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah, but Thomas just doesn't drop the ball at all. Not that Hopkins does a lot or whatever, but he's just such a sure target. Just based on his productivity, especially last year, I put him at 1, but that's good. Yeah. All right, so cool. Let's move around. We're getting down to crunch time here with time. So what do you think for tight end?
Let's just go quick. Tight end. I had Kelsey, Kittle, Mark Andrews.
Andrews, that's a good one, but did not make my list. I had Kittle, Kelsey, Ertz.
Kittle, Kelsey, Ertz. Can't argue with the Ertz pick. I didn't even think about him, but
yeah. Yeah.
Great pick.
But other than that, I think the Kittle and Kelsey 1 and 2. I did write down Gronk because we don't know.
I didn't think to do that. Good mind. There you go.
Yeah. We don't know.
Offensive line, who'd you have?
Quentin Nelson, Jason Kelsey, and David Bakhtiari.
Interesting. So I had Marquise Pouncey. This is in order, and I chose 1 guard, 1 tackle, 1 center. So I had Marquise Pouncey. I had Laramie Tunsil, the gas mask himself, and then Quentin Nelson at third. I had an honorable mention as Kelsey as my third one. Didn't include him because I already put a center as Marquise Pouncey.
Yeah, Pouncey's a good one to be in there.
8 Pro Bowls in a row.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. I think Quentin Nelson's the best offense lineman in football. When you watch him, even since he came in as a rookie, he's just been so dominant. So dominant.
He's mean.
He mauls people. Mauls them. All right, cool. All right, well, good.
He's a legitimate – I'm not exaggerating. He's a bully.
Yes.
On the field, he's actually not nice. Like, the guy's a jerk.
He's mean.
I love it.
I love it. That's what you want
your O-lineman to be.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to put O-lineman on this list because, 1, they don't get enough love, and 2, just to talk about a guy like that for a little bit. Yeah, he's just nasty on the football field. There's no friends in the football field.
That guy seems like he's kind of a jerk, but
I bet he's great off the field.
I usually love players like that, which is like kind of strange. Maybe I don't know why. Probably he's played in Notre Dame. Inside defensive line.
Inside defensive line for me. So Aaron Donald.
Am I forgetting something on offense here? I'm not.
No,
right?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Aaron Donald. I think that's got to be consensus number 1. If it's not for you, I'll be very, very surprised.
Let's hear your 3, then I'll let you know.
All right, yeah. Aaron Donald, DJ Reader, and DeForest Buckner.
DJ Reader, the new Bengal, showing some love already.
DJ Reader had the best efficiency against the run out of any interior D lineman last year.
I saw that when I was researching this today.
Yeah.
I agreed with the first. Aaron Donald, get out of here if you say otherwise. I had Cam Hayward as my second.
I wrote him down too.
Geno Atkins. I had Geno. Geno doesn't get enough love either.
Yeah, you're right.
We're talking about right now, he's still a good enough player. Cam came in as a DN, like he played college as DN, but these 3-4s made this defensive line and the whole like linebacker thing it's kind of funny. But he played in the Pro Bowl as a D tackle, so I put him as D tackle. Yeah, no,
I like that. I think he's listed as an interior D lineman nowadays.
Yes.
So
he plays in the 3-4.
Yep.
DE
right.
and edge, basically pass rusher.
You go.
Khalil Mack was my number 1.
Love it.
Number 2, I had Von Miller. And third, I had Calais Campbell. Khalil's played both outside linebacker and DN. Von Miller's a true outside linebacker. Calais Campbell's a true DN. Granted in a 3-4 format. So
I think Calais has played some inside too, but I'll give it to you.
Yes. I mean, who cares? Like, he needs to be on that list.
Get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a good one because the only one we have similar is Khalil Mack, and he would be number 1 2 years ago to me. But this year, TJ Watt,
Chandler
Chandler Jones, who's been topping the sacks for the past couple years, and then Khalil Mack.
I had all those guys on my list at some point.
Yeah.
And then Joey Bosa down. It's just
I had both.
That's an unfair position.
There's too many. Zadarius Smith could have been on anyone's list. I mean, Shaq Barrett.
We got 4 minutes basically. Give me your inside linebackers quick.
Inside linebacker, nice and easy. Bobby Wagner, Eric Kendricks, and Darius Leonard.
Bobby Wagner, Jalen Smith, Darius Leonard.
Okay, Jalen Smith. That's a good one too.
Pretty consistent there. Give me your cornerback. Or give me your safeties first. I love corners. Let's save the corners for last.
All right, I like that. My safeties are Fitzpatrick, Adams, and Derwin James.
Ooh, we almost agreed on a lot of these. We had one name usually. I had Jamal Adams, Harrison Smith,
yeah,
and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Harrison Smith makes the Pro Bowl every year. I love
just a solid player.
I'm biased. I love the strong safety, so I had two of them. But yeah.
No, that's good. You said Adams, right?
Jamal Adams was my number one.
And Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, I had as 3. I had Harrison as 2.
Okay.
Harrison's he's been doing it longer. Minkah's a 1-year Pro Bowler. Harrison's like a 6-year Pro Bowler.
Oh, I know. Yeah. All right. So let's hear your cornerbacks.
This is a really hard one too, but here it is. Number 1, Stephon Gilmore. I wouldn't have put him there a year ago, but he played lights out all year for the Pats. Had to put him at my 1. Second, I had Marshawn Lattimore. There were some names on the list who got just as much or more notoriety, maybe have done it a year longer or 2. But I thought about how many times Marshawn was in positions where, because the Saints pass so much, they're going to be scoring a lot of points, and offenses on the opposing team are going to be doing the same to him. He shows up year after year. Third, I had Richard Sherman. And Richard Sherman, how old was he, 33 or something, or 31, and shows up in a new city, goes back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That makes the list.
Look, here's the thing, too. So I'll start at 3 then, too, because I also had Sherman at 3. And it took me a while to think about it because a lot of people give him crap for only playing one side of the field. But then when you look at it, it's not necessarily all the way true. And also, when you have a cornerback that is so good that can literally take away one side of the entire field, you got to mention him as top of the cornerbacks.
He just makes plays.
Yeah, he makes plays. All right, but one for me was also Gilmore, and then 2, Tre'Davious White out of Buffalo.
I was looking at Tre'Davious for a long time. Really long time, but I went with track record because I think he had just made one also. But we are talking about right now, so that's a good pick.
Yep, those are good. A lot of all pros, obviously, all through that list. So
there better be.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll summarize those. What's that?
Give me your coaches.
Oh yeah, my coaches. I'm sorry, my coaches. Yeah. But so this is actually an interesting one. My coaches: Belichick, Reed, Tomlin.
Belichick, Reed, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. I wrote down Payton.
Tomlin will never make a list of mine because he tried to trip a player in the playoffs when he was like in his second year as a head coach.
Okay,
and I'm openly biased.
That's fair. I can't stand the Steelers. I'm not a big fan of Mike Tomlin, but I will tell you this: with the team that he had last year to win 8 games, you got to put him up there as a possible coach of the year candidate. You have to.
Let's save that for another day because we only have 4 minutes left.
But of course, they also only won 8 games, so I guess I can see the argument against that. So, but I think he's up there. And then Reed and Belichick, I think, are 1 and 2. I also wrote down Mike Zimmer because I like what he's done in Minnesota.
Ooh, Bengals fans, what did we do?
Here's the thing. I would have been mad if you put McVay there. Obviously Shanahan out in San Fran's done some good things.
Here's why. Belichick, I don't have to explain it. Reed. Right. And if he hadn't won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have it too. He did.
Yep.
Now he's my second best. Sean Payton gets it because it's a passing league, and he is like Teddy Bridgewater becomes a backup, takes the starter's job. Like he's got that kind of pull. The fact that Jameis is willing to go ride the bench.
Yeah. Not to mention when they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, they won all the games.
Let's not forget, the Saints were nothing.
Yeah.
They were nothing.
Yeah, but they went 5-0 with Bridgewater.
Right. I'm saying before all this came, whenever he came, 06, they were nothing. They were one of the laughing stocks of the league. They were probably viewed as worse than the Bengals are now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He's turned them into a destination for number 1 overall picks that are washed up. That's our 6th episode. Thanks for your time. I guess, Jeff, any last words before we hop off here?
No, man, ton of fun. Looking forward to Thursday for our next one, and
Yes,
whatever news comes out into then. Sexy, not sexy on Thursday. Always look forward to that segment, and we'll have another list or draft for you guys then.
Didn't have time to recap this one for some time constraints on our end, but we'll go ahead and get that posted on Twitter. You guys can go ahead and vote and let us know which one you think's better.
Sounds good.
Cool. See you, man.
See you, bud.